we are here. This is
Well.
hello. You know, after some difficulties, our
Yeah,
we try to live stream, but
we'll
we're
get
here.
there. We'll get
So,
there.
greetings, gamers. We're just
Still
gonna
gonna
do a
get some
regular.
gameplay out of us here later, but
We're gonna mess around with that a little bit. But greetings, gamers. Another episode, G3 podcast, episode 108, right?
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's your host for the evening, Snipe 90.
This is
Billionaire. Unfreaking believable. Hail to the king.
cleared up.
That's yeah, that's what we're
Killionaire.
doing right now.
Oh.
And then of course we got our buddy here, MowThemDown.
I got him eventually. It's the 17th of February here on our usual Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Nice to have you with us here. Thanks for joining me, Mark. Thanks for hosting.
Let's see what we can get out of this here. Yeah, no ice this evening. Got some family stuff going on.
But in his honor, Mark's camera's going to cut out, so it'll be all right.
Yeah.
He's with us in spirit.
My dog was going a little crazy right there. Apologies. All right, anyway. All right, we're going to not too heavy news related episode this evening, but we got a couple things to cover. Big elephant in the room this week was the Xbox podcast. There was a lot of speculation online of where the company was
It's
headed.
the end, everybody. It's the end.
Yeah, apocalypse is coming in. Like the gates of hell opened up, and it's all going down. But Daddy Phil.
Phil Spencer, Phil Spencer walked out of the open gate of hell and said, "Let there be games for everybody."
Yes, let there be games. So they mentioned 4 games. I'll just jump right in. But 4 games going into third party or release on PlayStation and Nintendo.
Other consoles,
yeah. So we got
Xbox coming to you.
Yeah. Everybody, you get a game. You get a game. You get a game. So we got Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and then Sea of Thieves and Grounded, which are going to all you fellow other console owners out there. So they didn't give me type of like timeline for that, but
no, they did. Yeah, not that I can recall offhand. No,
yeah, so
there's a huge timeline for that, but sooner than later, I imagine.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have some details before a holiday. See where that goes.
5 months from now, yeah.
The other part of that, Xbox, I should say, they're doing apparently a holiday kind of hardware release. I'm guessing it's going to be their cloud box. This holiday season, 2024. So be on the lookout for their all digital Series X cloud gaming box, probably something along the lines of that. They got a lot of stuff going on in the Microsoft world.
They do indeed. Yeah, I don't know. Leo was all like, "Oh yeah, they walked this back, whatever." And I mean, they may have. I don't really know. Their Phil's stated explanation of, well, we're kind of testing the toe in the waters here. Seeing if we can get some people to maybe join the ecosystem over here on Xbox. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that seems like a reasonable middle ground rather than just, yeah, we're just gonna send all our games everywhere or whatever. If we can still try and get you to buy the console or whatever. I'd still be cool with them, just totally like, yeah, just let's open the vault or whatever. If you've been wanting to play this game or you want to buy it, then why not? But I mean, not a bad selection of titles, I guess, to try and open up for other networks or whatever. Penitent is a very niche title, but is something that is unique. So, I mean, if the idea is, hey, we're trying to get out there, like, things that you can find on Xbox, and this is the Xbox experience or whatever, like that's not a bad one to try and get out there. Hi-Fi Rush, kind of same deal. Those also aren't like the big AAA price points kinds of things, so you might be able to see some people get in on those for a $20 or something, some kind of thing. I assume also that just probably wasn't mass adoption in sales figures for either of those. You know what I mean? Like I imagine that the people probably tried them out on Game Pass. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's kind of the model that they're trying to build for themselves and see how that actually works or whatever. But maybe they're thinking, okay, maybe we should actually try and get some actual sales figures on these games or whatever. Direct money for entitlement, as Phil rather unfortunately had referred to that as during the Xbox podcast there. The other two are kind of no-brainers from my perspective. You've got kind of the heavy focus on multiplayer and kind of live service. We need to justify keeping these servers going. The more players, the better for a large community base. Kind of a la the discussion last week with the Helldivers there. If you got a multiplayer focused reliant title, that's especially if you're trying to push the live service thing as they all are now, then you definitely need players there. So the more the better. Crossplay, let's do it. So yeah, not a bad smattering of titles, I guess, for them to kind of test the waters on. They were like, oh, it's not gonna be Starfield, it's not gonna be Indiana Jones, but I mean, frankly, again, I guess harkening back to the discussion last week, well, I mean, if the sales are there, if the demand and interest is there, I feel like you're just intentionally hampering yourself by saying no. We're gonna rather than get your $70 or whatever for the title, we're gonna demand that you give us the money for the console or whatever and miss out on any sale. Like, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know. There was the whole everybody's losing their minds. Oh, why did I even get this Xbox or whatever? But to play the games on, man. Like I don't know. I still think it's silly as far as that whole like outrage or whatever. But that's me.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they gotta get Forza. I mean, I guess they're just testing the water still, but I mean, it's a good range of games, I should say.
Yeah.
Um,
Stuff you're not gonna find, stuff you won't find elsewhere, I guess, kind of a thing.
right.
I mean, not so much, I guess, for like Grounded and the other, but certainly Penitent and Hi-Fi Rush are, kind of interesting, unique titles there. As far as like the hardware thing, like I know the Leo is all about or Ice, sorry, it's all about the handheld. It's gonna be the handheld. They're gonna announce the handheld.
I
Possible.
think it's a little
You know
too
what I mean?
soon still.
But yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with that. I'm curious to see if they'll even bother doing a handheld. I mean, people are, other companies have already kind of rushed to market to
well,
try and
was
compete with the Steam Deck. They've got the Windows experience on offer. Like, I don't know if Windows necessarily, if there's a huge incentive there for them to be like, yeah, we'll invest in developing our own thing to compete against essentially ourselves, where we've already got the market in place where these guys are doing it third party to make the hardware to sell our platform essentially with the Game Pass and whatnot. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if it was more, yeah, like that Brooklyn kind of refresh thing of, yeah, similar to, the PlayStation update kind of thing or whatever. We're just kind of whittling down on the design, if you will, trying to reduce our cost in manufacture. We're ripping the, disc reader out of it, and it's gonna be all digital and whatever. Um, that would be my expectation. I agree with you. I think that's probably what we're looking at for coming up here. um, yeah,
yeah, some
handheld to be determined. I guess I still am dubious of that, just because I feel like why at this point for them when they've already got people out there doing it
right.
on their behalf essentially. But yeah, we'll
But
see.
yeah, it's
We'll
a
see.
money saving or I mean, on that aspect of it, I
Yeah.
guess you could.
Yeah, it's
And
like, I mean, if essentially you've already got, like, so I mean, Steam Deck is Steam Deck. There's Nintendo Switch, PlayStation now has their thing to, like remote play from your console or whatever. The Xbox doesn't really need to do that because there are already lots of ways to remote play from your console or whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to. I'm sure that some people might buy it, but I don't know that it would be the widespread adoption quite that would really justify it, I guess, especially when there is, already lots of competitors on the market that offer the same kind of a thing. So unless if they're going to be like, well, we're going to spend a bunch of money to develop one that's, really badass or whatever, but then you kind of price yourselves out of what people want to spend on that. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's still hard for me to see how that is a good prospect for them. But I know the Leo's hoping for it, so we'll see. I don't know.
yeah, right on. Let's see what the rest of the year takes us with the
Right.
Microsoft train, I guess.
At least we're looking forward to some titles coming out and whatever, and yeah, I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be a better year for Xbox than for Sony, I assume. The whole deal with Sony, not really having any kind of any other releases really to speak of until
Right.
2025 or whatever. It's Q2 like 2025 or like I said April. It's like yeah, it's kind of a large stretch there. Um, Depending, I guess, on how these releases on the Xbox side do, we'll see if it would really even tempt anybody to start, what's up with this PlayStation that I got or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Wouldn't be a
Yeah,
terrible.
we got speaking of Sony, you got
Yeah,
our Helldivers 2
try and get y'all some gameplay footage
yeah,
later
there
this
we go.
evening, as long as we can get logged in and play.
Yeah, so that's one of the topics of discussion.
Yeah.
Got the little clip going with a little trailer, but we've been having some problems with the Helldivers 2 servers, so hopefully they beef those up or something. I don't. People need to go on.
I mean, I was talking about that with Logan and Steve on WhatsApp or whatever, and Steve's all like, "Oh man, somebody messed up setting that up. Load bearing issues, whatever, for traffic." And I'm like, I'm assuming it's just that they just didn't have enough servers, on reserve for this or whatever. It's mind blowing to me that this is still it's just the common recurring issue with all of these, multiplayer live service games or whatever. It's like, look, I mean, I don't know what you're projecting for sales, but like project
Yeah.
something for sales and try and have the servers available for it. The whole like, well, we'll release it and see how sales go, and then we'll try and get more servers in to accommodate. It's like, yeah, but then like in this particular case, I don't think it'll hurt them too bad because I do think this title has that certain je ne sais quoi, if you will, or whatever. It's got that fun to it where like I'm willing to keep trying until they get this all fixed or whatever. But
Oh yeah.
you see how that works with a lot of games where it come out and it's just okay, cursed, this is trash or whatever, nobody can play or whatever. That that hurts you pretty poorly, pretty severely upon release if it's a multiplayer game that nobody can get on and play. Yeah, I don't know. It's mind blowing to me that you still run into that, especially like a release from a PlayStation. Like a Sony published game. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like you could certainly have afforded to have a few more servers available or whatever, get them in more quickly. But alas, what are you gonna
But yeah, I mean, from when we did get in and got to mess around a little bit, it was pretty
Yeah,
decent.
I mean, yeah, runs great. Yeah, I mean, there's no issues, when you get in. Um, it's just the the question of whether or not you're gonna have a spot available to get in.
Yeah, I booted it up earlier and it got right in. So I guess
Yeah,
it's that time of day,
I
that
mean,
sweet
it's gonna
spot.
depend
So
upon traffic. Yeah, I mean, obviously your weekend evenings are gonna be your the greatest time of people logging in to try and play and everything. So it's understandable. There's the demand there, but yeah, it still sucks. That's like, like first weekend kind of issues or whatever. And then after that, you should be like, oh yeah, okay, we can get some more servers or whatever.
But yeah, so
It's fun.
we've been
It is
messing around
fun, people.
a little bit on that, and then I mean, we were gonna try and play
We were gonna try and
some Ready
do
or Not
some
for you guys, but
got to run it in the
it's
background here.
yeah, we got a little
It's
gameplay
Joker.
from yesterday. Um, yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, we only been running twos, but
Yeah,
it's
we need some teammates. Maybe man wants to.
it's pretty interesting game. We're having a lot of fun with it so far. Um, yeah, no real issues really, except for the getting killed
Or getting wrecked.
sometimes,
Yeah.
getting wrecked. Yeah, from our non-police training. But yeah, it's a little playthrough here, and hopefully we'll work out the kinks on the live or a recording or something for you guys. So we're trying to work out some type of gameplay to mix it up a little bit week to week, aside from the news. So um, yeah, not too bad. What else we got here? So on the Nintendo side, we have, which was expected, um, delay in the Switch 2. They said they're pushing it back to 2025. It's it's like I said, it's expected.
Yeah, I mean, Switch is doing fine. The climate right now, I don't know. I don't know how ready people are, clamoring to shell out for new consoles right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Just it, I guess it just depends. Like really realistically, I hope that this means that it's not. But like, it'd be cool if they're just spending that extra time, make sure it's really gonna be blowing the socks off people or whatever. Like,
yeah. They
I don't know.
definitely have to
I'm
beef.
still concerned with like I'm still concerned with what the Switch 2 is
Right.
actually going to be to offer any kind of like because we had talked about that previously. It's like, okay, so if it is just going to be the Switch 2, you know what I mean? Because that's not usually how they operate. It's like, okay, we want
Right.
to come up with a new platform that's going to offer some sort of innovation in the way that you play, kind of thing, what your experience with this console unit is, or whatever. If you're doing this iteration now of the Switch 2, it's like, all right, well, what kind of improvements are you making? You know what I mean? 'Cause if you're telling me I'm still going to be maybe 1080p at best, docked on a television or whatever. I'm like, like what? Why? And then of course, it sounds like they're coming out with the non-OLED version first or whatever. So it's like, okay, well, I guess continue to wait for then. I guess the OLED version. It's just, uh,
Yeah, they gotta. I mean, it's a kind of a dangerous game for like because all these consoles or handhelds, I guess you could say, that come out recently.
they're all right. Yeah, they're all coming
So
out with pumped up. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, so like that's always been Nintendo's thing. It's like, well, we don't compete. We do our own thing or whatever. It's like that's very respectable, and that's always been a very successful kind of a thing. But so yeah, so what are you doing to innovate and really make sure that the Switch 2 is going to be unique beyond just that it is the walled garden platform for Nintendo? Because yeah, if it is just sort of an iterative upgrade, you probably need to make sure it's a good upgrade or whatever kind
yeah,
of a thing or whatever. Because yeah, like Switch is cool and everything, but yeah, I mean at a certain point, come on, baby, get that pumped up a little bit in terms of its capabilities.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they have.
Curious to see.
I mean they're always going to have their first party,
Yeah.
fan base. I
That's
mean
yeah. I mean that's kind of
so
what where they've captured everything forever. But capitalism demands growth, and at a certain point, they're going to try and start growing. I mean, they're trying to get these third-party titles on and everything, as you've mentioned. Yeah, but who's playing Call of Duty on their Switch or whatever? But
Skyrim.
if they're wanting to try and get into that, then they're going to need to try and cater to the graphics whores among us and whatever else. It's like, yeah, probably don't want to be playing this AAA title that you've already got a console for, presumably, where you can play that elsewhere, or whatever, because you buy Nintendo hardware to play Nintendo games. So if you're trying to entice me on the third party stuff or whatever, then you're gonna need to try and make sure that it's at least a comparable experience to some degree or whatever, where I'm not like, well, why am I paying $70 for this release to play it on here? And it looks and runs like garbage or whatever when I could just get it on something that runs it more appropriately, especially if it is a Call of Duty now, where it's gonna be on Game Pass day one release, I guess, or whatever. Per Sarah kept bidding. Oh yeah, all Xbox titles, gonna be on Game Pass. Like, all right, we'll see. Diablo's
Yeah.
coming out on Game
Oh
Pass at
yeah.
the end of March or
Forgot about
whatever.
that.
I guess Leo
Yeah.
was, Ice played it smart and held off on purchase.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I mean, the other thing, like people keep saying Switch 2, but like you said, or like none of their consoles have had any type of numerical listing to them. So like, I'm curious if it's even going to be called the Switch. Like,
I
or
don't
it'll
know.
just be
That's
all
yeah.
new
I mean, that's
console.
that's
So
the
like,
that's the curiosity, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Is it actually going to be a Switch 2, or is it going to be? And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be too shocked if it is just going to be a Switch 2. But then, yeah, that's where I'm really kind of curious to see like what that's actually going to offer then in terms of being actually like a you know market upgrade over what the current Switch is. If it
yeah,
was, just offering some new, entirely different experience or whatever, hey, this is our, Nintendo portable handheld with some glasses and AR, VR thing, or like, all right, balls to the wall, let's do it or whatever. But
yeah,
of course, that
yeah. They're
sounds
gonna
like
put
that would
like
probably be
a
cost prohibitive for everybody, but yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's like if they're not reinventing the way that you play,
yeah,
and
they're
it's
gonna
just
put
it's just an upgrade, then it needs to
like
be an upgrade.
this is my SP, so they're gonna put like
Yeah,
a second screen that flips up on the top, and that'll
right.
be
Yeah.
your like what was it, the Wii U? So
Oh
like
yeah.
you had that one screen on your console, and then like the
Mhm.
TV was like your main game, and then like have your map or whatever down at the bottom for some crazy stuff. They've always done something like that. So like
Yeah. Well,
they can't just
that's always
they
been
can't
kind of
just
their.
make a
Mhm.
console anymore. So
Yeah.
like
Well, I
they've
mean,
hit.
they can, you know what I mean? But that's the whole thing of it is, yeah, like if they're just gonna start competing in that market and actually competing, then they're gonna have to compete on that hardware level to where, yeah, it's gonna be a comparable experience because nobody's gonna want to go play Call of Duty there or whatever and have it look like,
Well, I
potato
mean, perfect
or whatever.
example,
So
like the Switch Lite. I mean, that was
yeah,
a you can't take the controllers off that thing. So like
right.
that was just aimed towards the younger, you know,
Which I
gamers.
mean, not a bad alternative offering or anything by any stretch of the imagination. It costs
Well,
a
it was
little
in
less or
place
whatever.
of
Uh,
the 3DS that was
right. Yeah.
is no
Exactly. Yeah.
longer supported. So like
hmm Yeah. It's
a
just
little trade
it's,
off
it's the
there.
modern Game Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't think the Switch Lite was necessarily like a bad kind of SKU to throw into the market or whatever. It served its segment or whatever. But yeah, I'd be curious to see. Just yeah, as I guess I've said a number of times now. Yeah, if it's truly just a Switch 2, what are you guys doing to really kind of make sure that? But I mean, it may not matter for them. I mean, they've got their. Uh, they, people are always going to be buying Nintendo products or whatever. So as long as they're going to
Yep.
keep coming out with a steady stream of their own content or whatever, as long as they continue to make those games fun or whatever, you're going to continue to buy your Mario and your Mario Party and your Mario Kart and your whatever else. And
The thing I'm going to be
uh,
curious about is are they eventually going to go away from the cartridge?
I mean, that's a good question. It's a good question. Um,
So there lies, I
hard
think,
to.
a little bit
I,
of the
yeah, I mean,
hardware.
so I would say, yeah, I mean, I guess what I would say to that is, I'm sure that they would love to do so. Um, it'll be dependent upon the contingent part of like my the hardware less required no hardware required kind of future where everything's streaming or whatever. Like I'm sure they'd love to get away from doing cartridges and whatever, but it would probably just have to be like all streaming at that point or whatever.
Well,
They don't really do
because
like massive hard drives or anything. You've got your terabyte drive, you can throw up in that
Yeah.
bitch and whatever, and that's cool. Um, I guess and admittedly, I'm lacking ability to say really, because I have no idea like what the weight
Yeah.
of their average game is, so to speak. So I don't know how many games you can fit on your Switch or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, the Tears of the Kingdom was, I want to say, like, throwing a number out there, like 60 or something, but the average
Oh, okay.
game is
Yeah,
like, 8 to,
yeah,
12, 14 or something.
right. Yeah.
But
So I
then,
mean,
like,
yeah,
the
potentially just
online,
just downloading everything. But,
just the Nintendo Online service, like,
yeah,
all that stuff is just streamed.
true.
So, like,
True.
and it runs pretty good considering. So,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have at least a tiny amount of experience with that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see with that. At the same time, like, there's almost an incentive there for them not to try and move away from physical medium. Um, I think they will solidly be the last ones to move away from that for sure, because like they still had like that the dedication to Nintendo as a platform or whatever, like that whole identity building thing or whatever we were kind of getting into last week. Like that is the most intense with Nintendo. They're just also chill, so they're not like ice calling people PlayStation ponies and whatever else. Like they just kind of they're content to just do their thing and enjoy, which is cool. But like those are the people that are like 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 a Mr. Snipe 90 who's like, oh man, I mean, I ain't gonna buy a PlayStation 5 for $500. But I'll buy like two of these, like little retro Game Boy units thing that I could use to play my old games or whatever, $500. Like that nostalgia factor, and like
yeah,
people hang on to that, NES game or whatever that cartridge that now sells at auction for $1,000 or whatever. Like that,
yeah,
that is part of that value you're buying into or whatever. They can sell you on the appeal of that. So I don't know.
yes,
Yeah, will everything move away from physical media at a certain point? Yes, absolutely. But yeah, they will definitely be the last ones to do that for sure.
yeah. I never pulled the trigger on the analogs.
No, did you? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I backtracked from that again, and I've been looking at the Raspberry Pi, little retro boy or whatever they call it. Uh, like a build your own portable Game Boy, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
those
years
Raspberry
ago,
Pis are legit for real.
well, I made an emulator probably about like 4 or 5 years ago, and it ran pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Just a standalone little, I think it was a Raspberry Pi 3 or something.
yeah, yeah.
I
I mean,
think that,
I want to say back in like 2010 or whatever. I can't even remember how far back it was or whatever, but yeah, like Tim and I were trying to that like beer pong like table arcade machine or whatever they were trying to come up with. Yeah, like I was just running off a Raspberry Pi, but that worked just fine. I mean, obviously that was pretty simplistic and basic as far as what we needed it to do, but yeah,
yeah,
those things are awesome and they're getting better all the time. I mean, the stuff that you can do now with those things is just
yeah.
insanity.
I don't know. You've probably been to Micro Center. They have like half the store is like aisles and
Yeah,
aisles of that
right.
stuff. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean,
crazy.
it's yeah. I mean, that stuff is becoming more capable all the time, and so yeah, the stuff that you can do now with it is pretty wild. So yeah, if you're a hobbyist, if you like to put some stuff together or whatever, make your little mini dragonfly drone and shit and
Oh
whatever.
yeah. But anywho, um, yeah, like I don't know if you want. I mean, Activision. Was it suit going on? You shared earlier. I don't know if you want to get into
Oh
that or
yeah,
not.
what even was that? I don't even remember what that was. Oh, it was
Esports.
yeah, the esports thing. Yeah, I mean, um, I don't know. Mixed feelings on that one, I guess, or whatever. But
I
see.
think just looking for any opportunity to cry over Call of Duty these days. So
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Very short summary, guys. I guess a couple of esports teams and players and stuff, whatever, trying to sue Activision for I think it was like 680 million or something, essentially for their monopolization of the esports market pertaining to Call of Duty. Which I'm kind of like, well, I mean, it's their product, bro. I don't know. It's always hard for me, like in these circumstances where we get into these kinds of things, because I'm like, I'm not a fan of any of this, and so like I don't know that I necessarily actually agree with this position from like a moral standpoint and whatever else, but like in the context of the framework of whatever, I'm like, well, it's their product. I mean, you're the ones that are playing it to try and host some big league and tournament and make a bunch of money off of it or whatever. I don't know if I feel like it's unreasonable for them to be like, well, it's our product, so we're gonna gatekeep on that or whatever. Like, I don't know. At the same time, do I wish that that was not necessary and everybody could get their fair share of whatever pie, or that they didn't even need to worry about that? Yes, but it's not how things work right now. So.
Right on. The other thing I have, like I said, it's a short news week.
Yeah, I
There's
mean
talks of
the main thing was just the Xbox podcast thing, which had said that, of course, Ice couldn't be here to talk about that because I'm sure he'd have
oh yeah,
the most to really kind of expound upon his feelings there. Like for me, I wasn't tremendously off put by a lot of what was said there, standard kind of corporate speak or whatever. I've the entitlements language from Phil was a disappointment from my perspective, just to hear that kind of a thing in context. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said in our chat or whatever. Like I wanted them to just come out and be like, well, listen here, bitches. We're gonna do what's best for us. You're gonna be fine. You're still gonna enjoy your games and have your Game Pass and whatever.
it's the so to say the other thing I have is the Respawn has or is developing, I should say, a first person Mandalorian game. So for all you Star Wars fans out there. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be some type of Star Wars Survivor like ordeal. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I
It
don't
could be
know.
some type of like RPG, like
I mean, I haven't seen the show yet, so I wouldn't be able
oh,
to know
okay.
exactly what to expect. But yeah, I would think some kind of action adventure would be more along the lines of what you'd be expecting, especially if it is first person. That'll be the real kind of. I honestly, I'm kind of curious to see what that would end up being, just because of the associated property or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta have it just be him, just being a badass, first person, just blasting everybody up or whatever.
Well, I was going to say like Apex style, just running.
It could be. Yeah, what's funny is that it come to mind for me too, but no, I don't know about that. Nah, I mean I mean Titanfall 2 was great, everybody. So if they're gonna basically, incorporate a lot of the feel of that, I could see that, the mechanics therein and everything. I really just want Titanfall 3, honestly. Holding out for Titanfall 3.
I occasionally boot Titanfall 2.
I
Just,
yeah, it's fun. The campaign was great. I actually kind of want to go back and play that again at some point. Um, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it
ain't
is.
no
See what it
romance,
is.
but
Huh?
ain't no romance.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that game till I die.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Was happy to see. I maybe happy to see the old so in Helldivers 2, you got like your little mission selector or whatever table, and apparently they've got like a continual battle going on or whatever, where you're fighting and taking and losing control of the map or whatever. So yeah, we got in there. We're like, oh, Chrome Hounds.
Oh, shit. Well, it's that part of the show. I think a little, like I said, a little short, a little short.
Oh no, I meant to. Oh God.
What you got?
Nah, I meant to look up and see if there was any news about one of these titles on this list yet. So meant
I didn't
to
get.
have that ready for the title of the the show here or whatever. Do the little thumbnail. I forgot about it, but yeah, I was gonna try and mock up a thumbnail of Michael Douglas and falling down or whatever, where he's like, I'm the bad guy or whatever, and then put like Yuman's like face over his or whatever, and like have it be failing like down or whatever. And it was gonna be 4 A's and failing or whatever for the quadruple A that Skull and Bones is supposed to be or whatever.
I mean, we still.
Still could do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I forgot to look up and see if anybody even bought the game. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do live. We didn't do a live one tonight, so we can mess with the clip a little bit. Well, what we got here? I don't even. We leave off of Mario. No, Skull and Bones.
Yeah, I think Skull and Bones would have been the.
Well, just in case, Mario Donkey Kong or Mario vs Donkey Kong, Skull and Bones, Quamp 2. About that one.
I'm not sure what Comp 2, Quamp something.
Quamp.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll go Atari.
Atari.
Huh.
All right.
Oh, publisher. So.
Yeah. Well, that'll come out on the 20th, apparently.
Yeah.
What else we got on here?
Last pop.
Last
Go
Epoch.
Sure.
I'm not sure. Well, that's the word. I'm not familiar with the game. But.
We got Terminator, Dark Fate, Defiance, PC. Man, that really hit me with these hard words.
Illuminati.
There you go. For all the things.
That's interesting that lists Xbox again on that because oh no, maybe that makes sense. I think that was out on early like game preview or some kind of shit on Xbox or whatever. So maybe it's just the full release now. That's actually that is an interesting title. If you have yet to check that one out, I didn't really mess with it too much, but it might be kind of fun to play around with. It's basically like a oh god, it's like Scribble Knots kind of a thing or whatever. But like it's like Mortal Kombat Scribble Knots.
Yeah, a little video.
Which doesn't make any sense, but is at least intriguing in terms of like a premise or whatever.
There we go.
There you go.
We'll do a little. We got some time. We'll do a little preview.
Sure. Draw your little bunny guy. Then oh shit, dragon. Yeah, you basically have like these little pitched battles or whatever back and forth, and it like draws it all like in real time or whatever, and so, like it's kind of neat. And that's another one of those where like I'm not shocked to have seen that then come out like everywhere on all consoles and stuff. I thought that oh well, actually that's data leak. Yeah, maybe that wasn't. For some reason I thought that was like an Xbox title, but I guess not. I guess it just went into early release on Xbox. Yeah, Xbox Gamer. Okay, right on. Yeah, I guess I was wrong on that. But a neat little game. And then Pacific Drive.
Yeah. PC, PlayStation
5.
5. Yeah.
That one looks kind of neat. I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of it yet. I'm gonna wait to see some reviews and stuff. But just the idea of just the cruising around on the lonesome road, whatever. The vibe looks interesting. Sons of the Forest, I'm confused by because I thought that was already out. I already bought that. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but maybe it was an early release or something. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
Splatoon 3 expansion. I've yet to pick that game up, so I'm not sure what the expansion is.
Surprised.
I've been playing with. Oh man, I've been playing the watermelon game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you said that. I saw that earlier. I was like, oh my god. So what the hell is the watermelon game?
So it's pretty damn fun. It was like $3.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the English version title. It's called. I'm gonna butcher this. Sorry for all the Japanese. Suika. Yeah, Suika game. I want to go with that.
Yeah.
Let me get it up here for you.
Suika. Yeah.
So it's like a Tetris like.
Yeah. Is that what the
But
hell is that name? Bubble, whatever, something. Yeah.
but you know, it's got this
A fruit.
evolution of the fruit down at the bottom. So
Mhm.
like you want to do, you know, go from a cherry all the way to a watermelon, and then once
I
you
got
get the
this joke
three,
about three dudes at a farmhouse, but we ain't gonna get into that. Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, I mean, I played it for like 2 hours earlier, like,
I was gonna say it looks like it's one of those just little simple arcade titles. So
and
I guess
it's got like
at
it's got
$3,
the
I can see how that
rankings
would
down
do
at
well.
the
So
bottom. So like it's got a, you know, your own monthly ranking. It's got like an online ranking, you know, across the globe. So like, you know, all those countries. So I've yet to reach past like 2,500. And I
yeah.
go on the rankings earlier and it's like 15,000, 20,000. I'm like, how
Yeah,
is
I
this
mean,
even possible? Like,
you know.
but yeah, like you just match the two fruits together and it becomes the next one and it gets bigger. And then, you know, the problem you run into is like here at the bottom, like you start getting little stuff at the bottom that you can't get to,
Yeah,
jams
right.
you up. So like
Uh-huh.
it's got a
That's
little
pretty cool.
strategy to it.
Yeah, yeah, it looks legit.
But, I'm
$3,
having,
good little time waster.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've been having a little fun with that. And
Well, looks
then
like we got some interesting ones for next week, but we'll wait for
yeah,
for
we'll
next
leave
week's
that
show.
for ice.
I'll
But
be
yeah,
getting into so yeah,
not too
cool.
hateful. Yeah, a little short episode, short sweet. Um, like, subscribe, holla at your boys. You know, should all three of us be here next week. Same time, same place. Catch us
We'll
on some Ready or Not or Hell
try.
Divers,
Yeah,
or
as I say, we'll try and get some gameplay footage up for you guys too.
we're gonna work on something this evening and mess around with it a little bit. So, other than that, got anything else?
Just the tagline, I guess.
Right on.
Go ahead, brother.
Well, as you all know, gaming's greatest generation is one you guys are part of.
We love you.